All right, so now we're going to head into our document dive. We're going to be looking at different documents, both primary and secondary sources, in order to determine to what extent is V.S. Naipaul's critique of Islam correct, and how did Islam spread from 1200 to 1450. So first I'm going to ask you guys to draw this chart in your notebook that you see below, where it has 4 columns, where it says document source, main idea, how did this help Islam consolidate power, and then does this support V.S. Naipaul's claim about Islamic imperialism being forced upon people. Second, we're going to choose 3 documents to read from a PDF that you'll see on one of the slides. You choose any of the 3, there's 6 of them in total, that you would like to read from, and you're going to fill in that chart below to really determine how Islam consolidated power from 1200 to 1450. So I want to show you guys an example on the next page. So one of the documents, and you guys should definitely write this down in your notebooks, one of the documents is called Turkish Invaders and the Sultanate of Delhi. It's by Wikipedia. And this is how it reads. It says, Arabs had been invading India since roughly 700 CE. Around 1000, a group called the Turks began invading India, and very ruthlessly at that. The first of those raiders, Mahmud of Ghazni, earned the title of the Idol Smasher for the damage he did to Hindu temples, while the ruler Ala al-Din similarly came to be called the World Burner. These raids and invasions especially hurt Buddhism, as kings in India were no longer able to financially support Buddhist monasteries. This led many Buddhists either to convert to Islam or to flee to China. As a result, Buddhism virtually died out as a religion in India, although its influence elsewhere continued to spread. I want to start by going back to my chart, and I want to talk about the source information. So who the heck is this coming from? Very simplistically, this is from Wikipedia. It's a secondary source of information, most likely taken from other primary and secondary sources that the author read from. The main idea, what is this saying about the spread of Islam? Well, the big thing that it's saying is that Muslims forced their way into India, literally smashing religious relics and ruining Buddhism and Hinduism, causing people to flee or convert. That's what it says, with words such as like the idol smasher or the world burner, right? This story that this author is trying to tell us is one of kind of a negative viewpoint around Islam. Well, how does this help Islam consolidate power? Because Islam spreads to India, right? Islam will spread to India and it will be called that Sultanate of Delhi. So how did they do it? And from this document, it's saying that they used fear to scare people into joining the faith. Now, does this support V.S. Naipaul? Yes, it does. It supports Naipaul because it proves that Islam didn't allow for people to be both religions. It forced people to convert and leave behind everything they once were. Now, the reality or the hard part about history is that if we just read this document, then I have a very negative viewpoint of the state formation that the Islamic Empire used. That's why what you're going to do on the next slide is dig into other sources to really figure out what else did the Islamic Empire do from 1200 to 1450 to consolidate that power and to expand. We know they expanded. Why? How did they do it? And does it support or refute V.S. Naipaul's argument? So on the next slide, you guys will see a PDF where I'm going to ask you guys to choose 3 documents of your choice to complete the chart, and then you'll do a little reflection. We'll meet back here for our ending SAQ.